you are having a good day so far. Today we will be doing our grade 2 English lesson on antonyms. And before we start with our lesson on antonyms, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of language arts. Grade 2, and then we're going to scroll down up until we get to chapter of antonyms. All right. So our chapter is antonyms. Our subject is English language arts, grade 2. And the lessons that we're going to be focusing on under the chapter of antonyms is to choose the antonym. We need to say which sentence uses an antonym and to find the antonyms in context. All right, so antonyms, right? Antonyms are words with opposite meanings, right? So in our previous lesson, we did synonyms, and we said synonyms are words with the same or almost the same meaning, right? So it's different words, but the meanings are the same or it's almost the same. So antonyms are again words with the opposite meaning, right? If it does not mean one thing, it means the other thing, right? It's opposite. And an example of antonyms, right? For example, big, and the opposite of big is little or it's small. Boy, the opposite of boy, right, is girl. Man, and the opposite of man is woman, right? And then we have maybe another word like black and white. Right, so which means that these are opposites to one another. So we are going to now find the opposites of different words, right? And like we say, antonyms are words with opposite meanings. That is correct. Up and down. Up and down is opposite to one another because we go up or you go down, right? So the opposite meaning of, or the opposite of up is down, or the opposite of down is up. Then we have big, and then we have small. Big and small, or big and little. Not necessarily red and blue, right? Not necessarily red and blue. I think when people use colors, they would usually say either black or white because they usually even give that in a figurative expression. Right and left is correct. Right and left is correct. Or you can even say right and wrong. So right and left, or we can say right and wrong. Then we have the opposite is either you have children or the opposite of children are parents. So it's either you're a child or you're an adult or a parent, right? And like we said, it's up and it's down. So it's either you're screaming or you whisper. And once again, we have small and large. So we do have big and little, big and small, and we have even small and large, or it can be small and huge. All right, then we have fast. It's either the car is going very fast or it's going very slow. Yes, we have good and we have bad. So we have good and we have bad. Then we either say you are pretty or beautiful and ugly. Happy and sad is correct. And then we have good and we have nice. I won't say special and unspecial. And then we have, like you said, good, bad, happy, sad. But like I say, I can't think of special and unspecial. It's either you're special or you're not special, right? So these are words with opposite meaning, right? And we call those antonyms. Antonyms are words with the opposite meanings. All right, so these are but a few examples of antonyms, and we said antonyms are words with the opposite meaning. All right, so now we like we said, we took an example, a few examples of antonyms, which are words with the opposite meaning, right? So now if we go on to our over here. So we're now going to choose, or we're going to match the antonyms, all right? We're going to match the words on the left with the opposite meaning of the right. All right. So we're going to choose, we're going to match the antonyms, right? So we're going to match the words on the left, which is big, loud, dark, fast, and happy. And we're going to match that with the word on the right, which is quiet, slow, small, sad, and light. All right. So if we look at the word big, what is the opposite of the word big? All right. So now we need to find the opposite of big. What is the opposite of big? If something is not big, it is what? What is the opposite of big? All right, so if we match the words on the left with the words, the opposite meaning on the right, we have quiet. Quiet. What is the opposite of the word quiet? All right, so if we were to find the opposite of these words, we would say the opposite of big is small. What is the opposite of loud? So, what is the opposite of loud? Loud. Is it quiet, slow, sad, or light? Well done. So, yes, we have loud and then we have quiet. So, we have loud and then we have quiet. So, well done. Dark. What is the opposite of dark? If it's not dark, then it's what? It's not dark, then it is. All right. And if we were to find the opposite of dark, sitting in the dark, but once I switch on the light, there is light. Dark and light is great. So well done. Dark and light. Fast. What is the opposite of fast and what is the opposite of happy? The opposite of fast and the opposite of happy. So fast. What is the opposite of fast? All right. So the opposite of fast is slow. All right. And then we said happy and sad. Right? So once again, an antonym is a word with the opposite meaning. It's not the same. The meaning is opposite. It's the word that is the opposite in meaning. And we said we are doing our tutorial lesson on A plus students.ca. So now we're going to A plus students.ca where we're going to choose the antonym. And we said that antonyms are words with the opposite meaning. And there we have an example, big and little, right? Slow and fast, black and white. All right. So now we need to say what is the opposite of the word girl? What is the opposite of the word girl? All right. So we need to find the opposite of the word girl. What is the opposite of the word girl? All right. Then the opposite of the word girl is boy. Right? So opposites is boy. So if it's not a girl, then it is a boy. So well done. All right. So which word is the antonym of no? The opposite meaning of no. All right. And the opposite of oh no is yes or oh yes. So we have no and we have yes. So well done. So let us go to our test. Remember, we said that antonyms are words with opposite meaning. It is the opposite of the meaning, not the same word. But oh, yes is no, and yes is correct. What is wrong, Samuel? All right, so we know by our test, and we are going to select the opposite meaning of these words. Which word has an antonym, which is the opposite meaning of the word before? Is it after or when? So before. All right. And the opposite of before is after. After. So well done. We said the antonym, the opposite of girl. What is the opposite of girl? So, what is the opposite of the word girl? And we said that in a few minutes ago, the opposite of the word girl is boy, right? So, well done. Boy and girl, they are opposites in meaning. The opposite of far. If something is very far, the opposite of being far is what? All right. And what is the opposite of far? Is it gone or is it near? Gone or near? Yes. And the opposite of far is near. And near is correct. Opposite of take. I take something. Is it give or catch? We need to find the antonyms, and the antonyms are words that are opposite to one another. So, the opposite of taking, if you just want to take all the time, what is the opposite of taking? All right. And the opposite of take is to give, right? So you take or you give or you give or you take. And then which word is the antonym of new? If something is new. So the word new, is it good or is it old? And the words with the opposite meaning. All right, so we have new and then we have old. And new and old is correct. All right, so we said antonyms are words with the opposite meaning. So now we're going to look at the antonyms with sentences. So now we need to look at the sentence and then we're going to underline the correct antonym. So the opposite. So it says, we drove across the new bridge in downtown. What is the antonym within that sentence? The antonym. And if we were to select the antonym, then it is the word new, right? And the word new is old. So you have something new or you have something old. So we drove across the large bridge in downtown Milford. So we drove across the new bridge in downtown Milford. Oh, we already did that. We drove across the large. And large, the opposite of large is actually small or little, right? We need to read the sentence and then select the sentence that uses an antonyms in the word in bold. So, something in the kitchen smells good. What opposite of good? If something smells good, but what if something doesn't smell good? Then what do we say that is? So, good. What is the opposite of good? When something is good, all right, so the opposite of good, we would then say it is bad. So if something smells good, but then the opposite, that something smells bad. All right, so now we're going to our test. We need to read the sentence and then select the sentence that uses an antonym in the place of the word in bold. So, did the bird fly over the tree branch? The word over. We need to find the antonym of the word over. Is it, did the bird fly under the tree branch Or did the bird fly by the tree branch? So over. So did the bird fly over the tree branch? And then we need to choose one of the sentences, right? That shows the opposite of the word over. So do we say, did the bird fly under the tree branch or did the bird fly by the tree branch? So we need to find the antonym of the word over. Is it under or is it by? All right, then if we choose the correct one, we would say, did the bird fly under the tree branch, which means that under is the opposite meaning of over. And under is correct. So well done, it is correct. The first option is correct. It was too hot to play outside today. We need to find the opposite of the word hot. So do we say it was too cold to play outside or it was too loud to play outside? It was too cold or it was too loud? The opposite of hot. So it was too hot to play outside today, right? And if we were to find the opposite of the word hot, and then we would say it was too cold to play outside today. So we say for the show they had chicken for dinner. We choose the opposite. Do we say in the show they had chicken for dinner or after the show they had chicken for dinner? So the opposite in meaning before, is it in or is it after? So the opposite of the word before, and yes, it is after. So well done. After, or the second one is correct. All right. Now, Chad climbed down the big oak tree in the yard. Down. We need to find the opposite of down. If something is not down, it is. So, do we say Chad climbed up the big oak tree in the yard, or Chad climbed behind the big oak tree in the yard? The opposite of down. All right, then the opposite of down is up. So well done. The opposite of down is up, right? Because it's up. And the last one, this was the best day I've ever had. So the word day, this was the best day I've ever had. Do we say, what is the opposite of day? Is it this was the best popcorn I've ever had, or this was the best night I've ever had? So we said the opposite of day is that this was the best popcorn, or this was the best night I have ever had. All right, and the opposite of day, we would then say it is night. So well done, great job. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson on antonyms. Right, we said antonyms are words with the opposite meaning. It's not the same meaning, it is opposite meanings, right? All right, so that is the end of our lesson. We said that antonyms are words with opposite in meaning, and we made an example of, for example, either mom, opposite of mom is dad, cold, opposite of cold is hot, big and small, and so on. All right, so we should have a good weekend further, grade twos. Till next time, goodbye.